Welcome to Around the Reel with your hosts, Aaron Carlson, Charles Lawson, and Samantha Hanna. Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Do you know that outside, when I went out there to feed the cat today, Sam, that there is those big-ass paw prints all over the railing from that possum? Or not the possum, but the raccoon.
The raccoon,
that big
it was a possum.
fucking bear raccoon. That thing is
the big
out there.
raccoon,
Yeah, it's out there.
Yeah.
Every night.
Well, it didn't eat our
No.
cat. I know that. Our cat's, it's too fat. And
Yeah, that motherfucker wouldn't come back to try to eat cat food. After if he ate that cat, he'd be good for the winter.
yeah.
He'd be good for the winter.
He'd be hibernating.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
That thing's huge.
Fat Siamese cat.
But no, I'll sit there and I'll be sitting there watching TV,
Right.
or a movie or whatever, and out of the corner of my eye, I'll see, the cats are up there too, right? So it's once in a while it's the cats. It's fine, it catch my attention, but this fucking thing jumps up on the railing like, boom.
It's a bear.
Yeah, it's
so
like
big.
something from the Relic, it's fucking huge.
But Aaron, tell everybody what you admitted to the other day about the raccoon.
He's kind of cute.
Because
Because he's got these chubby cheeks, man, and he looks at me, he sees me in the window, he's like, oh shit. He sees me, and I'm looking at him, I'm like, oh shit, I see you. And then he'll dip, but I've had a one-on-one with him right at the door, because I'll get up out of the couch and I'll run to the front door and open it real quick, and he's trying to walk around. He's figured that out, and I capture him right there. So at first, I was thinking he was trying to get the cats, so I was going to bat his ass. I was going to get him with a fucking bat.
But he just wanted the
Beat him
cat
down.
food.
He just wants the fucking food,
He's
right?
fucking hungry.
Yeah, but now he's
Big boy.
slick.
And
Now,
you put food outside, and he's like, "Oh, thanks."
yeah,
We have outside cats. We got to.
yeah, but I don't know. It's a war.
I mean, our cat's got to eat.
It's not a war. He's just trying to eat.
Yeah, he just wants to eat.
He's
hungry.
kind of cool, but and then Twerk
And
and
he's
the other
kind of
cats are
cute,
cool.
right,
Yeah,
Aaron?
yeah,
He's
absolutely.
cute.
Yeah,
No, raccoons are cute.
yes. I'm pretty sure this is an exciting portion of our show for
Yeah,
everybody, but that's
very
real
exciting.
life. I mean, he's fucking he's just raccoon. It's
Yeah.
true.
And
It
we
really
have
is.
a missing cat,
Same
so
one
that's
you
a
gave
mystery. We don't know if the raccoon got it.
Gotcha. All right, guy, Chuck, take over. I'm gonna write this down real fast.
Okay, while Aaron is writing, let me say, welcome
You
to
don't know
Around the
what to
Room.
Yay!
say?
On today's show, we have
We have an exciting show today.
Mr. Raymond Power returning with information, knowledge, news, and weather. Take it away, Raymond.
You got weather too? You got weather?
It's a little wet outside, but
It's a little damp in here too, huh, Sam?
Okay.
It's dude, I came in right now. There you go. I got it.
In case you haven't been paying attention to many of our shows, anytime, ever since we've had Raymond on the show, every time his name comes up on a show, you can hear, Sam get a little excited. She sits up a little higher in her seat,
Okay, but there's
and it gets a little damp in the room.
Okay, well, anyway, but look, okay. I don't know if we are going to be able to tell that joke anymore, Aaron, because
Why?
because last night, remember how we weren't mature for that joke?
Oh no, yeah, we were
We
fighting.
weren't
No,
very
we were in
mature
a
for that
fight.
joke, so
We
we're
were
gonna have
fighting
to
last night.
Find
Yeah.
a different joke for Raymond.
With who?
With each other. Sam and I were fighting
we were
with
in a
each other.
fight.
Yeah, and it's fun because when you get in a fight with somebody, sometimes you say outlandish shit, and I'm like, you know what?
Yes,
The
Aaron.
most
Yes, Aaron,
outlandish.
you do.
Yeah, I do, especially. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to say bye-bye to the Raymond joke now, okay?
Oh, we can't make jokes about
Oh,
anybody?
no, because
no
we
more?
can't. We have to be mature enough for the jokes we're going to tell.
Okay, so we
Okay,
can't talk
we
about.
decided we weren't mature enough, remember?
Okay.
Maybe we can explore it when we get our big boy panties.
Okay, so
Okay.
we can't talk about.
Next
I'm
time.
mature enough. Why am I getting leashed?
Well, you can still tell the joke.
Yeah.
You can still tell the joke, but
Well, good.
Aaron
Keep-
over here is he's not.
Dude,
he hasn't
they've
been
canceled
mature
me
enough
2
for that
shows now. Dude, 2 shows in a row.
I haven't canceled you.
I cancel
Man.
him like daily.
It's so bad, dude.
Just yeah.
Raymond,
yeah.
this culture. What do
You
we do?
can still tell the joke,
I
Chuck,
don't
but
know,
Aaron's not allowed
Can't
to
say anything.
tell that joke. We're gonna have to find a different Raymond joke for Aaron.
Well, I got a lot of jokes, so we're good.
Yeah.
We're good. I think we're good.
Word for a minute.
Raymond, thank you for coming.
yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, bud. It's fun to have you back.
It's great.
And the first time we had you on, we talked about you quite a bit, like your past.
Yes.
Got to know who you are. And I know you've talked about that a lot. So this time, we're going to talk about you and your acting. Like,
Yeah, and what you
seriously.
got going.
And talk about, everything you got going as far as your hustle and the work ethic you have. I think that's fun because a lot of people up here in this area know who you are and what you're trying to do and what you are doing.
And how cute you are.
And and I think it's inspiring, dude. It really is. because you definitely have a way of figuring this shit out. So
Yeah.
for
And
those,
you actually have a ton going on
Yeah.
from the last time we saw you.
fuck yeah, he does.
So yeah, we have a plenty to
we got a
fill
plenty
this
to
show
talk
up with
Yes.
about
Yeah.
what you got going.
Yeah, and we might get a caller in later. It's
Yes.
gonna
Yeah.
call up and we'll speak to that person as well. We'll have you introduce him. Just in case a few people start chiming in here from different parts of the world and don't know who you are, why don't you give us a quick update who Raymond Power is?
Raymond Power, actor, producer, writer, filmmaker. Got a lot going on, got a lot more coming, and just did a whole bunch of stuff. So I just wanted to come and say hello and get on the podcast again. I've been listening since I've been on, and it's been amazing. Heard my name a couple times. So.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah.
So I gotta
come up all the time.
He said, who needs Raymond Power when you got him? So I'm like, what? I'm coming to prove
Oh,
you still
I'm
need
coming
Raymond
back.
Power.
God damn it. Shit.
That's awesome. I
You
love
heard
it. I love it.
but yeah, man, I just wanted to come and hang out with you guys. And
I love it, buddy.
you know,
Thank you.
definitely.
Thank you. Good. So I know which one I want to talk about first, but does anybody have anything they want to start with before I begin? I'm being polite here. I'm asking
Oh, you're being
my
so
co-host so I don't
what would
overtalk
you like
the
to
show.
ask Raymond first?
Yeah.
Well, I want to know what's been going on with you since the last time we saw you, because I've been seeing like little bits and pieces, and it's all exciting. It's super exciting. So I want to hear about that.
Well, let's we want to focus on the acting first,
Yeah,
as far as all the
yeah.
acting things that
Yeah.
he's been doing,
Yeah,
because I know
yeah.
there's other things that
Go
he's
for
doing
it.
as well.
Yep. Mike is yours, brother.
Well, this last year, I just finished up multiple features where I led in. I did Zombageddon, where I was the lead in that. I also did Cross Hollow. I was the lead in that. I did some supporting roles, one in your film. I did Say Goodbye, which I had and that's your film, Say Goodbye, End of Youth.
Mhm.
That's another faith-based film.
Right,
So
right,
those
right.
are both
Okay.
really touching films. And I've done a ton of shorts, won some awards with some shorts. I got a ton more coming up. I'm writing my own films, working on Shelter. That's starting to move along.
Badass.
I got hired with a company, or brought on board actually, Mind Riot Entertainment, where I'm producing there and helping make content with them. We have a whole bunch of major IPs that we're making movies for Hollywood. So it's been
Nice.
pretty crazy, man. It's been
You're a
amazing.
busy guy.
Yes.
And you got kids.
Yes.
And a wife at home. Like
5.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5
And-
kids. Yeah.
And he's from
Crazy.
Tacoma.
Tacoma, the tag.
Oh, the T-town.
And think about it, and you still live in Tacoma too, right?
Yes, I still
Okay.
live in the town.
That's what's fucking cool to me. Like, it's just this dude from Tacoma. It's not like he's saying LA or, fucking like New York or some big ass badass city where these entertainers come from. No, Tacoma.
Tacoma.
If that doesn't humanize this industry, I don't know what does.
No, yeah.
It's fucking cool, right?
And it needs to be. There's so many talented people in Tacoma, and more.
yeah.
We're getting more recognition, so it's
For sure.
it's amazing.
Absolutely.
Well, the
brother.
Pacific Northwest, just as a whole, I mean, all
Yeah.
around here, there's so much talent. I think we're definitely underrated around here. 'Cause
Yeah.
There's so much art, just from your typical art to your music to your movies. There's so many talented people
Yes,
around here.
there really are. I couldn't agree more, Sam.
And
It's-
we've built a show based on that.
Yeah,
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, because there's plenty to fill up. I mean, we got several years worth of people still to go.
Yeah, like for days. We'll be doing this for days.
As
And
you
that's
should.
okay. Yeah,
Yes.
It's good.
It's fun, and it's cool to be able to meet everybody and learn from everybody too, and how they do things. That's the best part for us.
Yeah.
All we can offer is a platform, but what we're getting paid by this show is knowledge.
Yeah.
All you guys.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Definitely.
You know what I'm
For
saying?
Sure, and inspiration.
Yeah.
And like people like you that just keep, doing stuff like you're doing and growing and getting bigger roles and doing more things. That's the kind of stuff that we look to for our own inspiration personally, because that keeps us going.
Yeah, it's been a journey. I started out taking a class in college and started doing extra work. Then we had COVID and I was stuck in the house.
Right.
So I did a lot of self-promotion online and working out and showing people I meant business. And then when they let us out the doors, I just hit the ground running, man, and just didn't stop.
You haven't stopped.
No, you haven't.
No.
No, you've been doing
I
it.
still got a bunch more coming up.
I don't know how you do everything you've got going on.
Yeah, I sometimes I feel like I'm still not doing enough. So
Dude, you're like
I don't know.
You're like the Kunta Kinte of acting.
I'm
like
trying.
he will not stop running. You know what I mean?
trying.
He is running.
And I must say, because he has a wonderful support system.
Yes.
at
Yeah,
home.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
which
That's
it really
what
helps,
keeps
and
him
that's we always talk about support because it's so important. And if you have that, you really have a chance.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
my girl too. We are both creative. So.
Oh, really? What does she do?
She assistant direct. She edits
nice,
and she
okay.
PAs. And then when I bring her acting, she doesn't really want to act, but she's acted in a ton of
I'm
movies.
with her on that.
I always
Totally
bring
with
her in.
her.
Like
Totally.
they need you. Come on, we got to do this. So she's always down, and so I'm
That's cool.
blessed. And
Yeah, you are.
Yes, and now we're doing our own thing. Now we have our own little production company, and we're gonna start making our own films. So.
And is that what
Very,
Shelter
very
comes from?
No, Shelter is my story.
That's your doc thing.
But
okay.
the IP is with Mind Riot Entertainment.
With Mind Riot
yeah.
Entertainment.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
okay. So what's the progress on that? Where are you at on that one?
We're making a lot of moves. Before the epidemic, we were almost sold to a streaming company. It was big. I was like, oh my God, my life is changing.
Holy
that type
shit.
of thing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And then nobody knew what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to put a hold on it. But now we're back to that point where we're like, wow, things are happening. And not only is that IP at Mind Riot getting bigger, we have several other films and projects. Our rating on IMDb a couple weeks ago, we were like 300, almost in the top.
Wow.
We're in the top 500 as a
Yeah.
company.
That's
Cool.
fucking
So
cool.
it's been crazy, and these are like Hollywood vets and industry vets from LA that are coming to Seattle, and we're trying to make something here. So
Yeah.
that's what's amazing is that we're not just moving everything to LA. We're like, we want to be here in the Northwest and build something here because there's a lot going on here and a lot about to pop here that
Yep.
people might not think. Everybody's trying to leave state and go somewhere else, but I would hunker down because we're about to blow up.
Yeah, you see it everywhere. There's a lot of shit going on the government level, and
Yes.
just people pushing
Yep.
to
Yeah.
get this thing kind of rolling up here. And I sense a seriousness about it. It's not like a bunch of shit. You know, they're
Yeah.
really trying. And that's cool for everybody.
Well,
Yes.
people are
Up
beginning
here.
to notice this area and the talent that's here.
Yeah.
So it's becoming. We feel it too.
And it's
Like
the
we-
stories. So
Yeah,
at Mind
seriously.
Riot, we focus on real stories, like from real people. We go and find the real stories, the true stories, and those are the stories we want to tell. So we go out and look for people that have an amazing story, and we try to back that. I don't know exactly what stories I can tell right now, so maybe later we can get into that. But
Yeah.
there's some amazing things. We have
So
a
starting
story.
with yours, I'm assuming.
Yeah, my story, correct. We have something with something about the Seahawks. I can't get too into that, but that's like, if you like the Seahawks, it's mind blowing. For me to be in the room and be going to the games and checking stuff out is like crazy for me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's like a dream.
No, I get it. I get it.
I'm from Tacoma. I'm an
I get
East
it.
Sider, gang member.
I know.
Not anymore, but you never leave that. But I'm in these room with these people. Sometimes I get like imposter syndrome. Like,
Yeah.
am I bringing
What the fuck
value
am
to
I-
this
Yeah,
game? But
How the
but
fuck
I am.
did I get here?
I know I am though,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah, you are.
amazing. I'm like, I have my PR. Lexi does my PR. She's my PR management. I have Mind Riot. There's a manager there that's managed me as a manager, and then I have my agent, Big Fish Talent. So I'm ready to go, man.
Nice.
I'm making moves. So there's people pitching me to different cities, different states, but I'm always gonna home base here in Seattle.
One thing I wanted
cool.
to say, I'm glad you brought that up, is for actors out there, especially in our area, that want to do something like what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Or what I keep saying, try what you're doing.
What you're doing, yeah.
Give us a quick rundown on real brief. Like,
Yeah.
how do you fucking get an agent? How do you get a manager? How did you do that?
So agent manager. So
They stalked him.
yeah, exactly. No.
Well, no. Can you tell us what's the difference between an agent and a manager?
There you go.
So my agent books me work. She does the deals, the contracting. She submits me to project. My manager helps mold me, helps me figure out what things I should take, what things I shouldn't. She promotes me. She puts me out there. My PR does the same thing as basically my management, and they work together as a team, and they get my name out there.
Okay.
How I found an agent, my first agent, I didn't have any credits, anything. I did some plays in college, but I said, I'm going to be an actor. That's it. I'm going to do this. This is it. I fought with that for like a month. Like, I'm going to be an actor. No, I can't do it. I'm going to be an actor.
Right,
No, I
right.
can't do it. But then one day I said, I have to do this. So I went out there and I just started hitting up people, just calling, looking up emails, and I went and did interviews, and finally I got an agent. It helped me where I was at, but it wasn't like the top of agents. But I worked with them. I booked work, made a resume, did extra work, did whatever I could just to get my name out there. After that, then the agents, when I was looking for an agent, agents knew that, and they came looking for me. Like, okay, he's booking work, he's doing things. I want to work with this guy. So it was basically like that. Alexi, I found her. I was on a movie, Friday the 13th movie, and we talked and we connected, and we had the same kind of way of thinking, and it was like that. You just got to talk to people.
You got to talk to people. Okay.
Reach out to people
You
and
have
say
to
hello.
talk to people.
Yes.
I can't just make them do what I want.
I don't know how many. I reach out to A-listers. I reach out to everybody, man. And I've made friends with people with blue checks on their names, and we talk and we communicate. And it's just because I made that first step. I reached out and I said, "Hey, what's up? Can I get some advice? Can you be a mentor?" Because that's important. You can't be scared to do that, man.
Yeah. So when you're first starting out as an actor, though, I mean, how did you know that, God, I got to get an agent? And you probably asking the same question a lot of people do. Like, I don't even know what they fucking do. What's an agent do? What's a manager do? Who do I call? How do I pick them? You know, did you just kind of...
I just Googled it, man. Like, how do I become an actor?
I love it.
That might sound so corny.
I
but
that's
get
what we
it.
do.
I mean, that's how silly it is.
Yeah.
When
right?
you don't know something, what do
I
you do?
Googled
You
how to
Google
become
it.
an actor. It said you need an agent. You need headshots. You need a reel.
Yeah.
So I started working on what I could. Checked out what I couldn't do right now. I checked that off and just did what I could do until I got to the point where I could do more.
Yeah. I was thinking about this kind of the little simple things the other day because we're posting stuff for like our movie that came out a couple years ago.
It looks amazing too. I love the promo and stuff.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
It's awesome.
It's fun to put out because it was just a spur of the moment thing and it just popped in my head to do it. But anyway, because we're on Tubi now, which was exciting for us, right? Okay, so the thing is like, God, what did I always want to know when I was trying to figure out scenes with Chuck and Sam, like when we were filming, like how are we going to do this green screen shot? Like, they always tell you use a green screen and do this, and I'm like, okay, cool, but how? But how? How do you even pin it somewhere? What do you do? I don't know how to hang it. Do you hang it a certain way? How's the light supposed to hit? Little stupid shit that they never answer on these things. They just assume that if you use green screen, you're supposed to do it like this, and you're like, okay, cool, but. And then you get a green screen. You're like, okay, do I hang it with pins? Do I put it up on this with tape? I mean, the subtle things. You know what I mean? And I'm thankful that you said Google because that's how
it works.
It's just that simple.
YouTube, Google. I mean, I don't know how much times I now I have mentors, but before that, it was like
it was just you.
I YouTubed everything. I Googled everything, and I listened. You don't do the first thing you Google. You look around and you check like Reddit, and you look and you have to peel it apart and
research.
do your due diligence and make sure it's legit.
Right.
Because you could Google something and I'm gonna go do that, and then you're like, oh my god.
And then you look like a fucking ass like right away.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well, YouTube, you can look on YouTube and figure out how to do pretty much anything.
Pretty much anything.
And thank you to all those people out there that make videos teaching us how to do shit, right?
I love them. I love everybody that does that.
Because they take the time to do that, and they don't. I mean, and a lot of them don't get anything out of it. They do it to help us who don't know how to do it. Yeah.
It is their passion to do it. And
so
you know what?
Those people.
And those people that do that do get an audience, and that's us.
Yeah.
That's us because we need their help.
Well, and the funny thing is okay, now I'm going to go business on this because what they're doing is they're putting content on their pages and they're trying to do the same thing that we are is get your content high enough to where you get enough subscribers to where you can monetize your channel.
Yes.
Correct. So that's the same thing that they're doing, the same thing that we're doing.
Yeah.
Just instead of, us doing all the behind the scenes stuff and how-to videos, we're just bombarding them with content of shows and everything else.
Correct.
But that's why it's important to subscribe to these people that are helping you. If you find that you're watching someone's videos and they're helping you with stuff, you should subscribe because that helps them.
Yeah, especially if you like it. Don't forget to give them that like or give them that subscription. Even if you only watch it every couple times a year because you're making movies or something and you don't go there every time.
Like it. Subscribe.
Yeah,
that's
just
kind of my golden
anyway.
rule.
It is. It really is because
Raymond. So God, like and subscribe already. Jesus.
I've been there.
Motherfuckers
Seriously,
busy,
if you go on someone's stuff and you learn something from someone, you should always
like
like that.
you should
always
support.
like
Leave
it,
a comment like cool dude
Like,
or
hey,
whatever.
thanks.
Something cool.
Especially if you get something out of it. I mean, that's the thing. And I hate when I forget. I try to go back to videos I've watched in my previously watch list, my history.
And put
I gotta.
Yes, I put something in there because I get something out of it. I'm like, oh shit, and I'll leave the fucking TV and I'll run downstairs
and go do
try
it.
something.
Yeah,
and totally forget about it.
Yeah.
And that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Literally, Aaron.
You can split the screen on the. You can watch it right here. You don't have to go upstairs and watch it on TV.
Oh, I know, but I like that spot. Plus, me and the raccoon got a thing.
Yeah, you gotta connect.
Yeah, we connect a little bit.
But like what you guys are doing with the PR, that's so important. Like once I seen you guys were on Tubi and you started showing the BTS, and I thought that was amazing. It looks professional. It's amazing. I'm learning stuff. It's cool. I mean, I think that's.
Thank you. Yeah,
really
and
cool.
it's fun. It's fun to show how ridiculous filmmaking is.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
It
Jump in
can
the air.
be.
And
Yeah.
run away.
Yeah, and then run away. Get out of the shot.
It can feel very awkward, but
Yes.
you never know. It turns out like amazing. I don't know
Right.
how many times they're like, look like this, cheat like that, and it's like this looks so stupid.
I
But
feel
it
so
looks,
dumb.
Then you see it and you're like, whoa, that looked really
Oh,
cool.
I'm a badass,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
That's no joke. Yeah, that's the magic of it. You just got to trust the process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Absolutely.
Well, that's why I ever act when I don't like to. But then I'm always like, well, Aaron always makes me look cool. So I mean, I'm okay. I'll do it.
Yeah, I want us to look great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
but you could feel really stupid doing it.
You
and
can.
that's- yeah.
I've felt that way many times until I played Marcus
Like,
Ford.
oh my god, what am I doing?
Marcus Ford's a badass.
Wait. You don't fuck around.
Okay,
Wait,
you
what
wanna
about
talk about
Pastor Paul?
Let's talk about the last behind the scenes thing.
Uh-huh.
Aaron doing something stupid, take one.
Yeah. I know.
And then he falls on the ground out of a truck. I'm like, dude,
Yeah, I jumped
what the
over. I
fuck are
jumped
you
over
doing?
Chuck with the camera so I could land in front of it on cement downtown Tacoma
Oh man.
with nothing.
And that's what you hear right before he does it. You hear me laying on the ground.
Yeah.
Aaron doing something stupid, take one.
Yeah, fuck it. It's just-
Aaron's getting a little bit old though to do his own stunts because we're pulling hamstrings and we're getting owies.
Dude,
That,
but
Yeah, we're
I'll be
good.
training before the next action movie. I'll get in shape.
Oh, okay,
I'll get in
yeah.
shape. Yeah,
There's
Yeah.
old men doing. No, I don't want to say like old men. Is that okay?
No,
to
that's
say
true.
that?
Yeah,
No,
you
that's
can-
totally-
You can say whatever you
Absolutely.
want.
So many old men.
But you know, like what's his name? He just did a movie. But
Aaron
he did
Carlson.
He rode a horse,
No.
did his own stunts.
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
is 90s.
God.
So yeah, you can always
Yes.
do your own
Fuck
stunt.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is an old man. Like he's
Yeah,
old
he's
as
old
shit.
as
He
fuck.
threw a punch and handled
Yeah.
his business. I watched it. It
Uh-huh.
was decent.
Dope.
It was heartfelt movie.
He's
It
badass.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a fucking badass. I want to be like those guys.
Yeah.
I see Stallone's and Bruce Willis and all these guys.
They'll do their own stunts and-
Bruce not as much anymore. He's a little lazy. But Stallone especially.
He's
Yeah.
bad.
That
He's
fucking guy
badass.
gets
Yeah.
me, man. He gets me.
I was just looking because sometimes a lot of actors they think they're getting older in life. That's too late. But a lot of these big stars didn't start until they were like 40 or
Right.
getting older.
Yeah.
And now they're mega stars. So
Yeah.
it is never too late.
It's
Don't
never.
let
Good point.
anybody ever tell you it's too late.
Never too
I love you
Ever.
for saying that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's never.
That's true.
Yeah, that's
true.
a great
You can do
point.
stunts. You can do whatever.
You
You
still
can-
got a chance, Carlson.
I know.
I'm 36, so I'm getting up there. I'll be 37 this year.
See,
so-
you're getting there
Yeah,
too, bro.
yeah. So I mean,
But you're good.
Um,
Yeah, we got
You're
a
a
lot
baby
of
in
time.
this room, so
We got a lot of
Just
time.
feel it.
brother.
yeah, definitely. That's all I want to put out there. 'cause
I love it.
People don't think that they can keep going or they're wasting their time. I mean, I even think that sometimes, and I'm doing everything,
Yeah.
doing a lot, but I didn't do something for a week, and I'm like, my life's over. I haven't
I'm
got
told
an
now.
audition. I don't have an audition in a week. I suck or whatever. I think that goes through anybody that's ambitious and that has goals and dreams. You're probably gonna get that idea in your head,
Right.
man.
yeah.
But
Well, and the society kind of puts the idea out there that you're too old real fast.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, you're 16, you're too old for this. You're like, it's really bad out there. So especially in the entertainment industry,
yes,
because you almost have to. They make you feel like you have to be born into it to actually make it there, but that's not true.
No,
so
it's
that's a
not.
great point.
yeah.
That you can still do a lot, no matter how far along
That's
in
funny.
your life you are.
You said a week because I was talking to Aaron last week, and I was like, dude, on the first, I sat down and did nothing all day. On the third, I felt like I wasted my entire day.
Yeah.
I felt like I didn't do anything, and I was like, I just wasted all that time. I could have been doing anything else, and I wasted an entire day. But what did you do? Well, I just sat down. I kind of recouped. I
Yeah.
was recovering from pneumonia and everything else that was going on. I was like, I just sat down, and didn't do anything. But then that 2 days later, I was like, oh my gosh, I suck. I didn't do anything at all.
Exactly. See, it goes. I think it goes through everybody's head. Like
Yeah.
If you want to do something more, I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. I go through it all the time, in between roles, in between meetings. But as soon as I have a meeting, I'm revigorated. Like, oh my gosh, I'm doing it. I'm big time. And but 2 days later, I'm like, I haven't done anything in 2 days. What is going on with my life? I'm pacing, but I think that's for everybody. So I want people to know that it's normal to feel like that.
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and for love of heaven, give yourself a break.
Yeah,
Yes,
because we're
yes.
kind of preconditioned to think that if we have a break, we should feel bad about
Yeah.
it. So I think we all kind of do in a way. like, oh, I'm a lazy, I'm a piece of shit today because I didn't do nothing. But you know what? Everyone needs a break.
Everybody
you
needs a
need
break.
to like collect yourself and just
Time
like
with your family,
breathe,
doing
spend time with
nothing,
your family,
just chilling. But you
Yeah,
don't
for
do
sure.
it enough.
For sure.
And don't set your goals higher than what you can accomplish in a day.
yes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my biggest thing.
Yep.
That's what I fail at. I make a list of like, okay, here's 18 things I'm gonna get done today.
And then if you
I'm
don't,
only awake for 18 hours.
Yeah.
It means I have to pull off something every hour.
Right.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
I make that same mistake, Chuck. And what you, but there's nothing wrong with setting your goals high enough to be challenged.
Sure.
But there is something wrong with setting them like unrealistically.
and then
I
putting
do that. I
yourself
do that
down
all the
because
time.
you don't.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what I
do
was
it.
gonna
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
if you can handle the fact that you can't reach all the goals in a day without feeling bad about yourself, then you're good.
Well, and if you accomplish one thing a day, then you accomplish something.
That's
and
how I
I think
look
that
at
you
it.
should feel good about it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm going to blow you up, Aaron. The other
Oh,
day,
shit.
you were like, dude, I didn't finish the podcast. I'm like, dude, it's okay. And he's like,
Yeah.
well, what would you do today? I did 5 behind the scenes things for the
Yeah.
Outrider. I just
Yeah.
couldn't stop. They were great. I'm like, great. Then you got all those ready. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't finish the podcast. Damn you. I mean,
Well, he
is that
said-
what you want to hear that? What the fuck are you doing,
get
Carlson?
it.
Why aren't you finishing
Well-
the fucking thing you were doing first?
Well,
I remember that day, and he felt bad because he had a podcast to do, but he was doing all these because they were really fun to him to do
Right.
the behind the scenes
yeah, I got
stuff
totally
when he found all
sidetracked, and
that
I felt like I
footage.
didn't follow my goals
Yeah,
that
so
day
he's
because
hard
I
on
totally
himself.
got sidetracked. But you know what? It did finish something that I would probably set the goals for the next day.
Yeah.
Right.
So I had to just flop them.
And that BTS is important. That stuff's
Yeah.
inspiring. Dude.
I
Yes,
think
it
so,
is.
bro.
I think it's just as important as the podcast because it shows people that they can do it. You know.
Yeah, man.
Like,
This
look
is
at
how
we
dumb
did.
this was.
Is, but no, the Outrider's good. It's good. I like it. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you,
And then
thank
you're
you.
showing people that you can do this too. You know, grab your buddies. You say these people never even acted before, and
Yeah.
look, we made a movie,
Right.
and we got people to come out at the theater, and here's all our BTS, and here's
Yeah.
everything that we did.
Yeah.
That's inspiring to me, wanting to do my own stuff, even though I work with a bunch of people that have. Big stuff. I want to do my own stuff too, and I've never held a camera or done anything, so
Yeah.
I have to learn too. So to see people do that, it's very inspiring. So I think it's good.
Thank
Gave
you.
me goosebumps.
That,
bro.
Yeah.
and that's a
Thank
good
you.
point too, because when we talking about say goodbye earlier, when we were in the barn, you were asking questions
Yeah.
because you were going to be on a set
Mm-hmm.
holding a camera in a few days,
Yes.
and you're like,
That's right.
So when you're doing that,
Yeah, how
But
do
good
you
for
do
you
this?
for
Yeah.
feeling like you could ask the questions because some people are too afraid to.
Yeah.
But that's why you're doing as good as you are because
Yeah.
you're not afraid.
Yeah, you
You're
gotta
just-
ask.
Yeah.
It's
I
the,
mean,
it's the
you
power
do.
of ask.
Yeah.
that's right.
They
I'm
can
telling
tell
you.
you no or shut up, but hey, who cares?
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
Well,
ask
there's
the next
something
person.
there's something
Yep,
to be
yep.
said about someone who's been through like the kind of shit you have. Is that after you've been through all that shit, what's there to be afraid of?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's nothing more scary than that shit.
Right.
So,
definitely.
so I think that gives you a little bit of an upper hand to people that haven't been through such crazy
because
stuff.
it is
but
scary
yeah.
to ask.
Yeah. It
It can
is.
be.
It's terrifying.
But once
honestly.
you get over that hump, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really see how silly it is where you're like, I didn't have to fucking be
But I
scared
think
of
it's
that,
important for
you know?
someone like you to tell people.
Tell people, yeah.
that
Because
it's
even-
not, that big of a deal.
When I was gangbanging, you had to be one type of way. You dressed one type of way. If you would have brought, I heard a rapper that I watch, he said, if you go to the hood with a camera, people are going to call you a weirdo. Like, why are you filming us? And he's saying, I'm trying to change my life. Somebody gave me a $15,000 camera. So you get shunned by being different.
Yeah.
So when I started this, I was scared to be different. I was scared to act or show my emotions in front of people. So what I did in college, I stood in the hallway and I practiced my lines in front of everybody. And I did stupid stuff in front of everybody. And I got on the chair and did stupid stuff in front of people until I broke that thing inside me. I think Will Smith says that you got to break that thing inside of you
Yep.
that cares what people think about you.
You do.
And I
Yeah.
still care about it sometimes. I'm still
I do
trying to
too.
fight it every day, but I had to put myself outside of the box I was in to grow it all. Otherwise, I would have stayed the same, dude.
I love it. See, this is why I love people that are come to our show and say that shit because they say it better than I say it because you guys hate me.
Literally. Yeah, I don't
Wait a
listen to
minute.
that.
They don't listen to me,
we
but that's
don't hate
exactly
you. We just know you too
We just
well.
don't listen to you.
exactly what I've been trying to say to these guys. Like,
Yeah.
you just gotta fucking not give a fuck. You just can't. See, I can't even say it right. Because
that's
you
when-
give a fuck.
That's one
but
that
you
I
can't
struggle
give
with.
a fuck.
Yeah.
That's one that I
You care,
personally do.
you care, but you can't care to the point where you're not gonna do stuff to make you grow.
Yeah,
you know what I
how
mean?
you gonna grow? How you
Yeah.
gonna get there?
You gotta just do it.
You gotta just do it. You gotta just swallow that shit and just go.
Yeah.
Just go. Don't even think. Just go. Do. Just keep doing.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
You just have to get to the point where you're just for me personally, I'm getting there. And the reason why I'm
Yes.
getting there is because I'm humiliated every day.
Yeah.
Like every day I feel humiliated, and I don't want to feel that way anymore, so I'm getting over it. But you got to go through all of that garbage to get through it.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So,
That's right. That's
I'm
right.
getting there.
That is right.
So if you're directly speaking to me, I'm getting there, Aaron.
No, you are getting. I've seen your growth. Chuck has too. We have. That's not.
Aaron really tries to break Sam down every day to make her break that little thing inside of her. He's been
There's
trying to
some
break
truth
that
to
thing
that,
inside of
yeah.
her for a long time.
Yeah.
It's a thick one,
I'm
though.
sorry.
That's just thick.
Well.
Her thing inside of her, or
Yeah.
you?
No. Well, I do have a lot of girth and a freckle.
Okay, do you really?
Come on,
Are we being honest? Are we? You call this a real show,
dude. I'm like
so
a pickle
let's just
jar.
Be real.
You know, it's like a pickle jar, bro.
You're just 3 inches around.
Yeah, I don't fuck around. I'm half white, Chuck. So.
We remember that he's white.
Yeah,
So.
it's a weird balance. It's weird. Yeah.
Well, you did say earlier you were You were very well balanced.
Yeah, I tried.
No,
to
I mean it depends on what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to use the fucking thing, but it's there.
It's there. YouTube. I mean,
Yeah,
Be careful which site you click on.
I get a virus. I don't know.
Oh
No, that's
my
just
God.
RedTube. That's RedTube.
That's a new one. I'll have to go look that up.
Yeah. Okay, go for it.
Yep. Okay, so what about what was that experience like on Cross Hollow? Because that's a local film.
Yeah, Cross-Out. Well,
Yeah.
we were out. It was filmed in Oregon.
Okay.
Deep Oregon, like 8 hours away, Oregon.
Okay.
It was a great experience. It was up on a mountain, cold. I mean, but I was the lead of it, and it's like stuff you dream about when you're a kid, like playing. I can't say too much, but like there's a scene where you're in the woods, and I'm in this scene with this person, and it's like you're playing Army, and you're in the woods, and it's with a star that's on TV, and it's just like crazy, you know. And I'm out there, and it's just,
It's dope.
I can't. It was hard because of where we were at, and I was gone from my family for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I drove back and forth. Like I had this big, I had to get on stage and talk about Mind Riot. So I had to go out there, drive back that night, and then drive back again. And I had to do that a couple times.
Man.
So that was hard, and I was like no sleep. But what I got out of it was amazing. I learned a lot. I grew as an actor. I held a whole movie on my back, and it was great, man. Before that, I did the zombie movie. I was the lead of that. So I'm being a leading man, and it's just it's a dream come true, dude.
Fuck yeah, it is, dude. That's so good.
And then Kimmy, I wanted to talk about Kimmy.
I know I got that on my notes. I saw the trailer for that
But
shit.
we'll keep.
That's the big one. I reached out to your boy too. I sent him an invite, so
Awesome.
just in case. I don't know if he's gonna join.
Yeah, he said
if he
he's
chimes in,
standing
that'd
by.
be cool.
So
Okay.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
cool.
he should have the invite. You send him shoot him a message real quick if you can, just to make sure.
Check
'Cause
your
we wanna have him-
spam folder.
Yeah, we want to have
Yeah.
him hop in.
Yeah, he's got an invite here. So we're trying something new on the show today, guys. So we're
We're
seeing
gonna pull
if
somebody in.
in mid-recording if it's possible to bring somebody in on Zoom. I'm not sure
We-
it's going to work.
yeah,
We're gonna
We
try it
will
though.
We
see.
should be able to. We actually did it with the casting.
Well, I'm trying it right now.
We did do it with the casting. You're
So
right.
he should have an invite in his.
Not the
email.
casting, the
when the table read.
table read.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I know what you're saying.
yeah, let me know, Raymond, how
Yeah,
that goes.
definitely.
But speaking of Kimmy, then we'll just kind of roll into that for a second while you're doing everything. Saw that trailer, and that's a movie directed by Steven Soderbergh, and okay, he did Out of Sight, Chuck.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my George Clooney movie of all movies. I just watched that a couple weeks ago again. I fucking always go back to that movie. It's dope. But this is a heavy duty guy. I'm trying to think of other movies he directed. Aaron Brockovich, I think. I think he did Brockovich. I think he did Ocean's 11, I think.
There's a whole lot of I think's going on there.
Yeah.
So let's just stick to Out of Sight
Anyway,
and keep going with
Contagion.
Contagion.
Contagion was the other one. Sam.
Oh, okay.
He did that too. So
Oh shit.
So this
Okay.
film was shot up here, some of it in Seattle. Is that correct,
Yes,
Raymond?
correct.
Okay, okay. So there's a lot of local talent that jumped on board on this because not many big movies like that are filmed in
No.
this area, and I know you're a part of it.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So I can tell you the story on how I got it too. So they hired a bunch of extras, and they also hired a couple day player roles. I got one of the day player roles. What's funny about it is how I got it. I was with my old agent, and I auditioned for a cop role. And a while back, I didn't think of nothing. They're like, it's an HBO movie. I was like, okay, I'll audition.
Mm-hmm. Fuck yeah.
I left. My agency disappeared. they fell off. They're not an agency anymore.
Okay.
So I didn't have an agent. I got an agent that night. I talked to the agency. I signed with Big Fish. Well, on my Instagram, I never check my Instagram messages, which I changed that now. And I looked in it.
Sam has too.
And
Yeah,
the
she has
casting director from Kimmy, a big casting director, I think it's Cuba Casting, they reached out to me and said, Steven likes your look. Do you have an agent? And I'm like, Steven who? And they're like, Steven Soderbergh likes your look. He doesn't want you for the cop role, but he wants you for a very important non-speaking line role that ties the story together. She's like, it's a very important role. And I was like, yeah, I want the role. So I sent it to my agency. They worked it out. The contract got worked out, and I got signed right there.
Holy shit. Dude.
But when you see in your box that Steven likes your
Soderbergh,
look.
and you're like, who the fuck is Steven? I know. And you're sitting there like, Spielberg?
Yeah.
I know, you're like, wait a minute, what's Steven?
Or Stephen Young from, Kent, Washington. I mean, who the fuck is this?
It was amazing.
That's
That is
fucking
cool.
crazy, dude. I would have shit my pants at home.
Literally.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well,
Yeah.
we've actually have shit over a couple.
Yeah, we have actually.
Inbox,
Yeah.
things that we have.
Oh, it's
received.
beautiful.
It's
feeling.
amazing,
Yeah,
right?
it
God,
is.
it's a good
Yeah.
feeling. Dude,
Yeah.
my nipples are hard right now.
Yeah.
It's just because it's cold down here, though.
Oh,
But it
yeah.
happens. I mean, what happened when we got Tom?
When Tom Skerritt
Yeah.
sent
Amazing, right?
He sent it.
Super
Yeah,
cool.
he just hits me up on his fucking iPhone. I'm like, dude, I got Viper fucking texting me, bro.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know he's like,
That's fucking crazy.
Skerritt's a good guy. I've
Super
met him
cool.
a bunch of times. He's friends with my CEO of Mind Riot. Tom Skerritt's
Yeah.
amazing.
He's a
yeah,
G.
he's really
A
into
G.
the Pacific Northwest
Yes,
and all the
yeah.
talent
And
around
that's
here.
why
So
I
yeah,
love him,
Yeah, he doesn't fuck around.
I missed that one, which is very sad because I wasn't there. But
But-
my
okay.
grandbaby was being
I was
born.
going to say, but you were watching
I was
the
having a grandbaby, so it was like Tom
the
Skerritt
Grand
or
Canal
grandbaby, and it was
open and the
actually
baby
kind of a
come
hard
out.
decision.
Right. It was. It was
No, it
sad
was-
that you wouldn't make it. Sam,
Yeah,
'cause you would have
sad.
loved him.
Yeah.
He's amazing. He's absolutely amazing.
Well, it's kind of fair though. I mean, because Tom Skerritt was in the original Alien, where something
Yes.
disturbing came out of a human, and you went to go
I
watch
was
your baby,
watching
your grandbaby
something
be born.
disturbing
So-
come out of a
That's a good
human. Yeah.
Yeah.
all right. So we've got someone coming in right now,
Yeah.
Raymond. So why don't you tell the audience
Yeah,
who's
Yeah,
coming?
let
So-
us know who he is.
Right now, we have Brad Wilke. He's the head of development at Mind Riot Entertainment, and we're just gonna bring him in. Mind Riot Entertainment is a group, production company, a company that I'm involved in as a talent scout and a producer. And we have a bunch of IPs making movies for Hollywood. We have A-listers attached. We have big things coming for the Northwest and California alike. So, yeah, we'll bring him in and just talk
Alright.
shop a little bit, and yeah.
There we go.
All right, so there he is. I see him. Do you hear us?
You got me?
Yes,
Yay!
Brad.
There you go, brother.
We hear you.
Hi.
So glad I could.
It's so funny. I didn't realize at first. I noticed the lighting was very similar in each of your squares, but I didn't realize you were all in the same room.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
we're all
yes,
here
yes.
together. Yeah.
I think that's so funny when people cross over. It's like Brady Bunch stuff.
That's right. That's right.
That is,
Yeah,
that's
thank
funny.
you. Thank you. This is the first time we tried this, and I just realized we only have 4 mic connections here. So 4 of us are using them. So we had to disconnect Chuck for a second, which
Yeah.
I'm
So
just.
he can't talk. He doesn't talk that much anyway, so
I'll
it's kinda
talk really loud.
Oh yeah, I still got you.
Actually, you don't have. I don't think you have to talk that loud. We'll still hear
I
you.
really, I could probably still be heard. From
Yeah,
Raymond.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 You okay there, Brad? You good?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, buddy.
Yeah, thank you for popping
Appreciate
in.
you popping in here real quick. So tell
Yeah,
tell our audience who you are and what you do, man.
Yeah. So my name is Brad Wilke. I've been involved in the Seattle film community since probably like the early 2000s. Made a short film up here with the Northwest Film Forum when I was still in the Army in Tacoma, which is what brought me out to the West Coast. So I spent a few years in the Army, came up to Seattle, and just really enjoyed and felt an affinity with the filmmaking community here. And it's been interesting to see it progress and change and grow over literally the last 20 years. So, during that time, I've, made some short films, took on programming responsibilities at the Seattle International Film Festival. So ran a couple programs there, one called Catalyst, which was focused on truly independent films, as I like to call them, not like mini major kind of stuff. Helped them get their screenplay program going, which is now turned into the Bigfoot Script Challenge.
Okay.
Oh.
And then, kept writing. So I wrote my first produced script in 2010, a movie called Camel Spiders for Roger Corman.
Roger
which was
Corman, no shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a real, it was an amazing experience, directed and co-written by Jim Wynorski.
Okay.
If anybody recognizes the name, he did Chopping Mall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Stalker 2.
I remember
So,
camel spiders.
No, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that was fun. And then I pitched Corman another movie, which I ended up not being able to write just because it just didn't turn out that way. It was really frustrating. But the movie Piranaconda was my pitch. It was like literal one-word
fucking love
pitch.
it.
And
Awesome.
so I kind of got in through again, like really kind of like the back door, so to speak, of Hollywood. But that's also where Martin Scorsese and Jonathan Demme and James Cameron, like a lot of people got their start with Corman. So there's a
lot of
good
people came in the
history
back door.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, right.
Yeah.
We're not going through Paramount or something like
Right.
that. Yeah, so then I kept writing, connected with Jonathan Kesey and Jeremy Dodd, which is how I met Raymond. And we decided to really, launch Mind Riot Entertainment, which now I'm the head of development there. So, I work with our whole team. Raymond sends, people send stories. I solicit stories. We option books and, other sort of IP like that. And honestly, it's a dream job to tell you the truth. Like I love, I don't direct things anymore. I realize I don't have a good eye for visuals.
I get it.
I was always just kind of like, well, put the camera here, put it there. It's fine. More concerned about the story. So now really focus on the screenwriting aspect and the producing aspect. So that's in a nutshell. That's kind of my background and how it ties into Mind Riot and where we are kind of today.
Brad, that's beautiful. I love the fact that you've got that humility like that to find your strength and know where your weaknesses are. That's what we talk about on this show as a team here. I mean, we all have our things we kick ass at and other things we fucking suck at. And
Or things we're good at, but we just don't like doing.
Yeah, or that too. Yeah, Sam. Yeah. So now you're working with Raymond, right? And you guys got stuff going on. So what are you guys doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, so like I said, so Mind Riot, we're here headquartered in the Pacific Northwest, but have significant ties, kind of a pipeline down to Los Angeles for when we're ready to go out with our projects. And how so Raymond had been developing a story with John and Jeremy called Shelter that it just has sort of grown and expanded into this really organic look at the homeless population in Seattle. And if you remember the documentary that was made in Seattle here called Streetwise in the early 90s, or early 80s, I think it was. Okay. And then they followed those same kids from the 80s and they, picked them up again in the 2010s or 2020s.
Wow.
So it really, it's been a constant refrain, I think, in Seattle is trying to end the epidemic of homelessness. And I think what's really interesting about Shelter is, one, it's based on Raymond's own experiences, but it shows like a really kind of a grassroots, hyper local attempt to help get kids off the street and take the knowledge like Raymond has from a lifetime of this lived experience, and convey that to a younger generation as a mentor. So, it's a very dramatic script. It's a pilot script that we're working to develop. We're building a sizzle reel right now. There's some really powerful video of Raymond telling his story, kind of in like a video diary, kind of like this, like speaking right to the camera.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And it's it's so authentic that it's hard to deny the power of the story. And so I think Shelter is really representative of the kind of stories that we're really trying to champion at Mind Riot. And if it's local, all the better.
Yeah, that's amazing. So Raymond,
Yes.
so you got your life, bro.
Yeah.
And now you've got people that are interested in telling your story.
Well, anyone who's heard Raymond's story,
it's an amazing story, right? Yeah,
it's an amazing story.
It's fucking dope. But how does that
inspiring.
feel, man? To know that they're gonna get a movie made that you can, that has something in it for everybody out there to understand and learn something, but also tell who you are to everybody so rawly. What's that like?
It feels good because when I was in my youth, I needed something like that, to know that anything is possible, that dreams can come true, that just to relate to somebody. And yes, there's stuff like that, but this this touches home. This is in my community, focuses on me and the people that I grew up with and the people that are in my same neighborhood. And it can show them that they can still do anything, that nothing's over and you can keep moving forward. And now look who I work with. Look at the people that are in my corner, like people I never thought I'd be sitting around the table with, in the room with you guys at this podcast. It's just like dreams are possible. I was literally with Jonathan Kesey. We went to one of the children's prisons, because that's what they are, children's prisons, and we taught a creative writing class to all. I was in that prison at one time, so we got to teach them that anything is possible. Look at me. I'm the same as you guys, and you guys can change your life just like me. It's possible. And to see the hope in those kids' eyes, like, oh, this guy talks like us, he dresses like us, he's tatted like us, and he's with these, guys from LA, Hollywood, and, he's changing his life. So, and to learn from people like Brad and Jeremy and Jonathan as their friends, colleagues, and I consider them like mentors. To the well-spoken teaches me to be able to go into those neighborhoods and be able to speak to them and to Hollywood,
How lucky do you feel to be in a position to help kids like you were?
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
With my 5 kids, and to show them that anything's possible, and then to show other kids that anything is possible. It's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, I bet.
I think it's dope as shit.
Very cool. It's very cool. It's very inspiring. It's inspiring for someone, even some people who haven't been in your situation.
Yeah.
Like for me, I was never a gang member or anything, but I had my downs and my things that I thought were, society puts you in a certain category for certain things. And so that can really relate to anybody. Yeah. And that's what's cool about it, is that the inspiration that you can bring to people that maybe weren't born into a great situation, to believe that they can get out of that and they can fight it and they can break cycles and all that other stuff is really cool. So I love the message that you're putting out there, Raymond, and I think it's awesome. And I think that this isn't even close to as cool as stuff as you're going to do. You're going to keep going and keep doing cooler and cooler stuff and more amazing stuff. So I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's
brother.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Your story is the springboard for this concept that you guys are going to be doing as a company, as far as the type of stories you're going to be following, which is awesome.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
It tells what our company's about. Real stories about real people, things that matter and that touch to your heart.
Which are things that resonate a lot right now, because a lot of people have a lot of struggles of their own.
Dude, I'm going through my life right now. Say, can we make a movie, bro?
Yeah, I bet you can.
Look at Sam.
Hit me up. Write it down. Hit me up. We'll send it to Brad.
Well,
See what you got.
One thing I would like to add to this conversation, because I agree with everything that's been said here, and I think oftentimes we don't look in our communities or in ourselves for these stories, and I think it's because you see there's a giant gap. There's a lot of cognitive dissonance, I think, between like what you see on screen from Hollywood, quote unquote, which is the IP and it's Marvel or it's this or that, and how are you ever going to have a and I think part of us, we have to reject that, in the sense of like, that's not the stories we tell, that's not our space. Our space is finding, and I don't mean just Mind Riot, I mean any storyteller, are finding those individual stories that resonate, because I've always been a big fan of Joseph Campbell. If anybody is probably familiar with him, as a comparative mythologist, and I know a lot of his material has been co-opted into screenwriting speak, so does the hero's journey and everything, but to really kind of go deep into Campbell, which I just am kind of I nerd out on that kind of stuff.
I was gonna say, you just nerd out, bro. It's fine.
Comparative religion
I get
and whatnot.
it. Yeah.
But he always talks about how when you've got the local and the universal, and oftentimes when the local is so resonant and engaging, it becomes a universal thing.
Absolutely.
Why Raymond's story, for instance, which is unique and individualized to Raymond's experiences, can be seen by a wide audience, and other people, regardless of their background, can look and say, like, I see part of myself in that, and that's why it matters. So I feel like that's just sort of a clarion call to other people listening to this, is like, you are probably sitting on a great number of stories in your community and
Yeah.
develop those
Mhm.
instead of trying to come
Absolutely.
up with a new superhero or something.
Isn't
Yeah,
that weird,
exactly. I
Sam?
believe in
Isn't
that.
that
Yeah,
fucking weird?
It's really ironic.
We worked on and just finalizing right now our first documentary as a production company. And
Yes.
Oh, cool. What's it about?
It's
It's
well, Sam, go
called-
ahed.
Well, it's called The Giant Pacific Octopus, and it's about.
Oh, I saw that poster. I was going to
Okay,
ask you
so
about
yeah,
that. I was like,
yeah.
I love the title. It's like Piranaconda.
Well, you know, kind of.
The sci-fi right there.
It's kind of a local legend story that starts off with history about it, and then we get into the animal itself and stuff. But it's very much local
Yes.
to us, and I went with a local story for my first documentary, and I'm really proud of it. And I really think that it's interesting
Yeah,
and very cool.
and you're absolutely right.
But it could be interesting to anyone anywhere. And that was
Correct.
important to me because I felt like, I don't just want it to be a community thing, even though it's, based in the Pacific Northwest and it's about an animal that resides here mainly and not in these waters. And I wanted it to be able to be interesting to other people in other places. And that's kind of what I was hoping for.
Yeah, great.
But yeah, I'm all about community stuff.
And
Actually, I battled between this story and a homeless story, like you said.
You did.
Yeah,
I
because
remember.
my father was homeless, so I
Mm-hmm.
have a deep connection with the homeless community, and I wanted to kind of do something about that. So I struggled between, should I do this one or that one? But I chose this one.
But we've got time.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it looks
we're-
beautiful.
it's thank you.
Yeah, what I've seen so far is beautiful. I have to send it to you, Brad.
It's almost done.
Yeah, I'd love to see whatever there is.
Yeah, it's
almost
exciting, but I
exciting.
loved what you said, man, because you're right.
Yeah, you are right.
There's this big conglomerate, this umbrella from Hollywood and all that shit. But that local level stuff, man, resonates if you do it right and you're telling these interesting stories. And some like Raymond's story would resonate all across this planet.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I
And
mean,
that's-
there's just an audience for that because everybody can relate to one way or another about whether they went through it or they know somebody that's gone through it.
And that's what
Exactly.
we're trying to do. We're trying to humanize
Good.
the individuals in the story, like
Yeah.
have backstories and what they're going through. So even if you haven't been in that situation, you can relate to them. Like you can feel for them. You can
Yeah.
You know
instead
what?
of walking by somebody, you're like, that is a human and
Right.
they're going through something or went through something to get them there.
Sam taught me that. I'm gonna
Well,
real quick.
yeah.
You did, Sam.
Be
So
quiet. He's giving kudos. To
yeah,
Sam.
I'm giving Sam kudos. So
It never happens.
I'm a movie.
Excited.
I like watching fucking movies. I want to see shit blowing up. I want to see cool shit. I'm the Marvel guy. You know what I mean? I want to see all the big epic stuff, right? But
No.
when I met Sam, she's really into like documentary style stuff. I don't care if it's a TV show like Dateline,
I like the
Forensic
real.
Files, all that shit. She's like one of those girls when we wake up in the middle of the night and they're watching something and his head was decapitated and his penis was in his mouth. You're like, what the fuck? That kind of show she'll watch. And
Because you
she's-
can't write that shit. Sorry, but it's
yeah.
real. You
No,
can't write it.
Nobody could write Tiger King.
Right? I'm saying.
Anyway, she really got into intervention, okay? And
Yeah.
I started watching intervention with her, and that's the first time I was actually, because I used to always see people who are on drugs and abusing drugs.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, what the fuck? Fuck you. What are you doing that for, right? But then on that show, they really, really hit.
They humanize people.
Yes,
and
they
made
humanize them.
way-
They show them from an infant and growing up. And you're like, what happened?
That's a person.
And then you hear what happened to these
Yeah.
people, and you're like, well, fuck, no wonder you do.
Mhm.
And it killed me. It fucking killed me. I think that's what you're trying to say, that humanizing
Well,
these things so people don't just bypass that homeless person and go, oh, what a piece of shit.
Yeah.
No,
That's- yeah.
something happened to this motherfucker.
and that's exactly
Yeah,
why I
man.
wrote the
Yeah,
story that I wrote.
badass.
Because I think that
Goosebumps.
it's about with people, when it comes to people, just general people, they aren't as careless as they act. They do care, they don't know.
Mhm.
And so if you educate these people on other people's lives and you
Mhm.
show, hey, there's this animal here that actually, is trying to survive here, and the things that you do might affect that animal, and it goes with people or anything, if you
Mhm.
show people
It'll make them
that
think
that's
twice.
a real person,
That's right.
Yeah.
they do
That's right.
care. I know that people care. They don't know sometimes.
Yeah.
They don't understand. And when you show them that this is real stuff and there's a real person here with real feelings and
It's
all of
gonna
that,
affect something
then
you
all of
do
a
will
sudden
affect them.
it makes something
That's
click
right,
in them, and then they will have compassion where they didn't before.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's important about all these stories, bringing them to life. like your story and everyone's story, because
just
people
by
are
your
quick to judge
the
when they don't
trailer.
understand.
But seeing that, it makes me think twice about what I'm doing to the oceans or garbage or what I'm using. So just like you're saying, it makes you think.
Yeah, and that's all I wanted to do with that story. And I think that's why your stories like yours are really important, because
hell yeah. Well, he's been there.
And I'm sure you get judged still to this day for your tattoos, and I'm still. It's amazing to me, your story and everything else, and how you've overcome that, and that's what I think is important message to send now.
What I liked about the show that I mentioned earlier, the intervention, was that the interventionists were all abusers at one time.
Yeah.
So they lived it.
Yeah, they know.
Kind of like you lived it. And that matters to those people. It makes a difference. And that's what's so cool.
It matters because they want to hear it from somebody that's been through it, not somebody that just read about it.
We don't care about what kind of degree you got. Did you live?
Have you been through it? Have you been in my shoes? And if you have, then say everything you need to say.
It's beautiful.
Yep. That's why it was important for me to bring in the people when it came to the giant Pacific octopus, because I myself doesn't have, a big connection with the sea, but I got the divers and I got the people that actually live it and actually understand what is going on there to tell the story for me.
Experts.
Yeah, exactly.
And our job is just make them look badass when they're on camera.
But that's cool, though.
It's fun, man. It's a great thing. Brad, where are you guys at on the project right now?
So Shelter, we just finished a rewrite of the script, kind of a polish, and we're working on refining the deck. So oftentimes that's one of the first things, I'm sure like some listeners know, maybe some don't, but these days it helps because of people's increasing reticence to read anything. Sometimes you have to get their attention with a deck, like a slide deck, right? So, a flashy cover with the title and maybe a tagline, and then some information about the story and Raymond's story. So, building that so it's a really nice product that you can, because there are elements of marketing, that you can't, and that's always the thing, I think, is that intersection of storytelling and business, artistry and finance that you have to kind of navigate, right? Especially as an independent filmmaker. So the deck, and then this kind of teaser style, like kind of a sizzle that again is another way to pull people into the story. So as we assemble those things, I think, early, this spring, I would imagine, is when we'd start really trying to get out there and, find some co-production and, other people that might be able to help take it to another level. And, that's how Mind Riot works in a lot of ways, is finding really good material, developing it in-house, and then using those connections to the Los Angeles side of the industry to amplify and get it in front of big time decision makers, streamers, studios, or just individual, like an actor that really has an affinity, like a feeling that, like, I can't imagine a young actor that wouldn't want to play a role in this film, not just local actors, but this series, anywhere. I think it's just really powerful, and I think that's what attracts the talent, and then the talent attracts the funding. It's often not, unless you have like a trust fund sort of that you're sitting on or something, it's very seldom that the money attracts the talent. You're kind of doing it backwards, and that's where you end up with I don't want to use any names or but like sort of like a D-lister from the 80s, because they're attracted to the money, right? But you get somebody who's really strong, they're attracted to the
story,
creative story. Yes, exactly.
Very good, very good. I couldn't agree more.
We also have other stuff in the works that we're working on, but that's just what Mind Riot's about. So we got a lot coming. So we're excited at Mind Riot for what the future's bringing.
There's probably.
Oh, you go ahead. Go ahead, Brad.
I was just going to say there's probably 4 projects right now that are on the verge of going out, and some of them are out already, getting some notes back. A couple of them are out to specific directors. Because it's a process. Like we all know with fundraising for independent film or whatever that is, you got to take a lot of swings.
Yeah, you do.
And, have a lot of fires, going, a lot of plates spinning is how I like to think of it. Like
On the sticks.
spinning these plates, getting new plates set up and spinning it. And, I feel like that's sort of a great metaphor for independent filmmaking and storytelling. So
absolutely, it is.
Got some good plates in the air, right?
Yes, we do.
No, that's fantastic, buddy. Dude, I'm excited to see where you guys are. I know we all are.
Yes, absolutely.
That's fucking cool.
Did you really give me your microphone so I could talk?
Yeah, I did because I talked enough. So
But my voice carries. Yours doesn't. That's why I just kind of leaned over. I almost fell on Raymond earlier because I was trying to just turn in my ball. You can't turn on. I sit on a ball, so you can't just pivot on a ball. I almost like.
Wait, give that back. Shut up.
Take it. Take it. I can hear me just fine, which means that everybody can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
God can hear me. He says,
I was trying to be nice, and I believe that when you're nice to someone, they're supposed to say that, like, thank you or something.
And I appreciate it. That's why I said it's great that you're doing that. I thought for sure you were getting up to rub your boobs on his head as you went to go pee. But still.
No,
I thought we weren't going to make it. Oh, yeah, you can make
just
jokes.
trying to share.
I can make jokes. You
can
can't
make
make
jokes,
jokes anymore.
I didn't know if you noticed, Brad,
Sorry, Brad.
but a lot of ladies think Raymond's like one of those hot guys. I'm like saying, dude, what about me, bro? You know what I mean? I'm still.
We hear that a lot.
Look, I got a few years. I got a few years on Raymond, but I'm still like prime,
Yeah.
dude. I'm in my prime
Okay. Well,
right now, Raymond.
Yeah, you're great. You're great.
It was like, yeah, good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, okay. Can we move on?
Yeah.
I don't know the kind of the format of how you'll put this out, but I just want to share the website for Mind Riot.
Please do, please, Brad. Yes.
We want to, as much as possible, be a resource and try to, work with local filmmakers, local storytellers, but we're not financing products or productions.
Mhm.
Like, I want to make that clear to anyone who's listening.
Yeah,
but more in the script stage, and kind of like, hey, this is a great story, or this is an article about me. Kind of, you just never know where that's going to come from. So you can find Mind Riot on the web at Mind Riot, MINDRIOT entertainment.com. So all one word. And if you scroll down, you can see who's part of the team, what we've worked on in the past, who we've worked with, and then near the bottom there is a button for inquiries. Okay. So people can just click on that. It'll open up an email, and you can email us just to say hi, or you got a script that you're interested in, you could send an inquiry that way. So I just want to make sure, like, people, it's not just like a placeholder website with no phone number or contact information.
Gotcha.
We're, like I said, we're trying to establish ourselves as another resource for especially screenwriters here in the Pacific Northwest, and also management. Just like with Raymond, we've got a strong team of managers, including a sports section, documentary. So you'll see all this on the website, but it's worth checking out.
What if you're not a screenwriter, but you have a really interesting story or a really good story? What about that?
Yeah, because so another thing is sometimes we'll find projects or ideas, newspaper articles that might be a good, like, we think might have some potential. So what we can do then is we can take it to one of the screenwriters that either Mind Riot represents or that we're familiar with, through different writing groups and stuff, and say, hey, here's this project. Do you have any interest in doing this? And then, set it up so that we would, develop a shopping agreement for them, and, work, with me and our creative executive, Cade, and other people on the team too, because it is really kind of a holistic organ, in the sense that we all kind of wear different hats and dabble in the different projects. So we all kind of know what's going on. But yeah, we're really open to anything. Not like a tag, not like a log line or something like that. Might be a little tough. But if people have a well-formed idea, or, something that they think could work, or like I said, it doesn't have to be a finished screenplay. It could be something that we could help develop. Now, of course, I just want to be clear with everyone, just that there is limited bandwidth.
Yeah.
Within, so we can't just like take on all, any project or all the projects. So I just want to put that out there right now, that it's not, necessarily, because there's going to be good projects that won't be a good fit for Mind Riot.
Absolutely.
But, as a screenwriter myself, as, you just have to deal with that part of the business, which is rejection.
Absolutely, you
Right.
do.
Yeah.
I think it's really tough. Like when I would first get my rejection letters for film festivals or something, remember, like this was back when there was no email necessarily, so you're still getting letters. I was sending out VHS tapes, like in the early 2000s.
I do remember that.
I remember I got my first, rejection letter. I crumpled it up and then I tore it and I put it on the wall, and I was like, "This is gonna." And I was like, you know what? That's stupid. Like, it's not. I'm not going to take it personally. But it took me a while to get to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's the thing. It's just if one place isn't a good fit, there's other places out there, and I think that is where sort of the ambition and the motivation of artists, if we want to call, that whole idea of art, I don't think, a lot of people, sometimes you hear content creators, and, I think that is it's not a bad term necessarily, but I feel like people who have stories to tell are going to find a way to get them out there.
Yeah.
And sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't work. But, as I've always found, the many times I've been wanting to throw in the towel on whatever I've been doing, is just like, it's impossible to turn that part of your personality off. If you're constantly coming up with stories or seeing stories or wanting to share stories, it's almost like,
you
really,
can't stop. Yeah.
it's a really great affliction.
I get it. I get it. I relate completely. I remember the first novel I wrote back in 96
I'm
maybe.
gonna lean into my microphone.
Yeah, 96
Yeah,
it was.
96.
And I did the exact same thing. I sent it out, query letters, all that shit, and I'd get rejection letters. I remember the first rejection letter I got, because I was living in a university place. I got it. I swear to God, when I walked in the house, I had to go to the bathroom.
What?
So I was gonna drop the letter in the toilet and take a dump on the letter. I thought it in my head. I'm like, no, because I might clog the fucking pipes with the paper. I don't want to do that. But I literally wanted to shit it. I did. I was so fucking mad because I couldn't digest it right. I was so mad. And then I thought, how stupid of me to spend all this time writing this book. Why did I even do this? It was one letter, one fucking stupid letter.
But it was the first one.
It was the first one. But I that's when I felt it the first time. And I remember that. And then I got a shitload after that. And then after a while, it just didn't even bug me anymore.
Yeah.
But it never stopped me from trying to tell a story. It never did. And that's what you're saying.
Yeah, well, I look at it sort of as a war of attrition.
Mm-hmm.
And because I've been working at it for so long, it's almost just like a numbers game. Like there are just people who just stop doing it.
Yeah.
And that creates more opportunities for the people that stick with it.
Yes. That's right. You kind of go up the ladder, like your time
and
is
you
coming.
practice your craft.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe 15 years ago, I wouldn't have been ready, for what is happening now. Like, with one of the other projects Raymond and I had alluded to is based on the Gamergate controversy that happened in the mid 2000s. So I co-wrote and co-created a pilot with Brianna Wu, who was one of the pivotal, sort of players in that whole system. And, so we've got a pilot now that's, about to go out probably at the end of January. And I'm sure, even as how good I think the pilot is and how much time and effort we put into it and how like true it is to her story, which is not, she has said that that's really not been told yet, and she wants it to be told because it's about forgiveness. Even in spite of all that, and with the power of mind, like all those resources, right? I know that there's going to be way more rejection, that the odds of that, it's just like, and it's a thing, it's just like, but it doesn't stop me from trying. And it won't stop me again. It's like, I'm already got other, like that's the thing. I think it's, like I said, we all identify with that. I'm sure the audience does.
I totally get it. I have this image in my head. I always go back to movies. You guys know me. So, but I always, a long time ago, it was after I saw, about 4 or 5 times in the Titanic, but that's what it's like. Like, you got to be like Jack and Rose. You got to keep fucking trying. Yeah. And you got to be on the top of the fucking boat when it's going straight down. You got to be with that chef dude that was looking at him, for a minute, like with the mustache. You got to be those guys. You got to be, because everybody else will fall off. Right. You just got to hang the fuck in there.
Well, and guys, this is going to be my first, time putting myself out there, crazy, and I'm scared. I'm terrified. You guys know me. I can't handle rejection. Yeah. So this will be interesting to see how I deal with it. The rejection that I get from this movie, because I'm the director. So I really have to prepare myself for
the reviews or anything
Yeah.
saying anything
And-
about it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it'll be interesting
It's
how I
fun.
take it because I'm not very good at taking that stuff, but it's all learning. I mean, I'm never going to get used to it if I don't experience it.
No, you got to get
So-
jabbed. You got to feel it. You
Yeah.
Most of people saying bad stuff for people that haven't tried, though. So
Well,
that's true,
You
yeah.
did it. You put it out there. You worked on
Right.
it. That's all that matters.
That's all that
You-
matters.
And there's so
Okay.
many
you
things
put
that
your
contribute to
best foot
people's.
forward.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I did. And there's a lot of people out there that, for different reasons, they troll and they're jealous, or there's a lot of reasons to troll, but you just have to be willing to take that heat and not listen to it and not focus on it. And that's what been one of my hardest challenges. And yeah,
It takes a minute.
it's
It
hard.
takes a minute.
It's hard.
Yeah.
And the thing with your documentary too, remember, is one of the first screenings is going to be with all of your professionals that are in the documentary.
Yeah.
So pay attention to what they say.
Yeah.
If they feel
Yeah.
like you did your job and captured what they wanted to tell,
That's
your
what
job is
matters.
done.
Yeah.
Right.
Everything else is just background.
Well, and
Yep,
that's the
yeah.
most important thing to me is to have their blessing on it because they made it and they told it. It was a
Absolutely.
story that, it was my idea, but they told the story and brought it to life. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Dude.
I do have to have their blessing. And once I have that, I think I'll be better with taking the rejection if there is any.
Dude,
but
it'll be
yeah.
fun. I
We'll
edited.
see.
I
We'll
edited
see how I
the
do.
film. It's gonna be great.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I feel confident about it, which is something I also lack. So that's actually
That's good.
a step forward for me. But we'll see how I do
Yeah.
with the rejection.
It sounds like you're outside of that comfort zone.
I am
And I feel
very
like
much.
that's where
You need
Yeah.
to
where you
be.
want to be. I think
Yeah.
that's where any artist wants to be.
Mhm.
That's where you
is
want to be.
Pushing that envelope because that's how you grow. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
one thing I
Fucking
would
right,
say also about film festivals, just because I didn't mention this, I guess, but after working at SIF for about 8 or 9 years, I took over as the artistic director of the Portland Film Festival. So was making like all of the creative decisions there for about 3 years. And something I found is that there's always good movies that you don't have room for whatever reason, because
Right.
it doesn't fit with the themes that you're trying to, unspool that year.
Mhm.
Or there's too many, there's 4 documentaries about Octopus.
Right.
I remember one year there were 3 documentaries about the collapse of bee colonies,
Okay.
and
Okay.
could only play one of them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean the other ones are bad, but
Right.
so much of that stuff, like you said, is like, it's about timing.
Yeah.
It's about the pre-screeners taking the
Mhm.
time to actually watch the films, which,
Yeah.
to me, coming from the short film world, I was like, got to watch the whole movie. You got to give it's like, I want to know why this isn't, because I couldn't watch all the movies. So you got to, trust, like, I personally felt like, in a lot of ways, the film festival kind of ecosystem is broken because there's just so many. So you have to be really, I think, careful what you submit to. So you're not just submitting to like the Los Angeles International Film Awards documentary style, where it's just like, it'll say finalist. Hey, put this, laurels on there,
That's
because it's
what
not,
I'm saying.
that's not what's going to get you. And you would have
No.
paid $50 for like
Yeah.
a meaningless.
Yeah.
Fucking laurel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people feel like that's been steered towards like, you have to have an in almost to get that stuff.
There's-
to win
yeah.
that stuff. And some of them are like that.
Some
But
of them
some
will
of
give
them
you a
aren't.
fucking trophy no matter what.
Yeah.
That's
I
true.
don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But it's
and
just
you're
gotta-
paying
yeah.
for that. And
Yeah,
and I feel
exactly.
like
for it,
it's
Yeah, you're paying for it.
Yeah.
exploiting,
It's silly.
an
The
independent
filmmaker,
filmmaker
yeah.
that doesn't have a
Yeah.
lot of money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I always, I had another company that's still in business called Smart House Creative. And one of the services we always offered was, film festival strategy that I would personally do, having been in the film festival for 12 years at that point, and saying, look, here's like what you're really up against. Here's how much money you should spend. Here's the festivals. Like it's really just about planning ahead of time
Mhm.
so that you don't find yourself spending $2,500 on submissions, and then you'll still have to, it could be really, really costly. So,
It can be. Yeah.
that's just sort of a word of caution to people who are, don't submit the film to 50, kind of randomish, hope for the best festivals. Submit it to 10
Yeah.
that you think are really, really,
Really
good.
good, yeah.
fits.
Yeah. Do your
For your film.
due diligence
That's
to find
gonna move
out,
you
you know.
forward,
Yeah.
not just
Yeah, you're going to save money, but you're
placker.
also going to find a better audience
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
for the film.
Yeah.
It's, and yeah. So
Yeah.
I wish you the best of luck, because it's
Thank
an
you, I
exciting
appreciate it.
process to
It's
have,
exciting, but it's
I mean,
terrifying as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should go to like Fred Barnes Montana Film Festival. Why don't we do that one? That's good. I heard great things about that.
Okay,
They show the movies in the laundromat there. It's great. It's no, it's stupid. Yeah.
No, but that's right. You go to the ones that are gonna matter, that are
That
gonna push
matter,
your film forward.
Correct.
Not just have a picture.
If
on
that's
it.
You
the route
spend
you
you
choose to
spend
go.
the submission fee for Tribeca and you don't get in. You don't feel as bad,
No,
right?
no, because you know
You're
what
like, all right,
up
they had some
against.
badass
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, if
You know,
you're
but-
if you're like in your own mind, you realize that.
Or the bigger ones, like Portland Seattle Film Festival, big film festival.
Yeah, those are great.
SIF, big film festival. I mean, these are good ones, right?
Yes.
These are solid. They're high mid level, but they're solid.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I
you
no
your
problem with that.
movie in front of people that
Yes.
you
yeah.
want to get it. in
Those
front
are
of.
all great. Yeah.
Well, and
so
some
if you got the
people's
balls
films
to do
might-
that, you go for it.
Some people's films might not be right for one area or one.
Yep. Or it's timing,
But-
just
but
like Brad
they
was
might be
saying.
right for
that
the other,
timing, that
so
timing is key.
Not giving up is also key.
Yeah. That's true too. Absolutely.
And also, you have other avenues to find those
For
audiences.
sure.
You know, you can put it out on Prime Video.
Yes.
You can, you know,
Mhm,
it just depends like what your goal is.
Mhm.
Correct.
Is it to make
Yeah.
money, or is it to get the story out there,
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
build an audience for a new film?
Yep.
You know, there's all like, I mean, I think that's a whole entire different.
Brad,
topic,
you're
but-
speaking the same language we do on this show,
Yes,
so you
it
gotta
is.
you gotta come on again, my man.
Yes.
We gotta talk a lot more
Yeah.
about stuff
You're
because
very
Oh
knowledgeable.
yeah, I'd love to share, whatever experience like I've gained over the years, because it's been in a lot of different sort of being on both sides of that equation.
yeah.
Making the movies and submitting them, writing the scripts and submitting them, picking scripts, picking movies. It's all connected in a lot of
Absolutely.
ways, and I feel like having a good strategy as an artist.
Mhm.
A lot of people don't think about that because you don't want, like, a lot of people, I think, sort of in a cliched way, is that artists don't get business, or
Right.
they don't want to think about business because they're artists. But I think we all kind of have to look at ourselves as creative entrepreneurs.
We are.
Which is
Yeah,
not
for
necessarily
sure.
like a new term, but it's the idea of being smart about why you're doing these things and having the correct expectations
Right.
of what this project is going to do. Like if it's an art film, you're making it for different reasons than if you're making a pilot, for instance, like Shelter.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
like, there's different audiences and there's different risk levels, and
Sure.
so anyway, yeah, I mean, I'd love to.
I totally agree.
Yeah, you have a
Yes.
lot of
Talk about
insight
it.
into all that
Yes.
stuff. So we're gonna
audience
have you
question,
back.
I don't know how you do that, but if your audience, if people have questions,
Well, indie filmmakers need to be film entrepreneurs. I
Yes.
totally
Yes, they
agree
do.
with that.
Absolutely.
If they want to try to do something now, if they're just specifically art based, I totally get that. Nothing wrong with that. Do your thing, have fun. That's a hobby. But if you want to make a business out of this, which you
You
can,
gotta-
you
yeah.
got to think that. You got to
Mhm.
you got to be
Yes.
business savvy.
Well, I
You
think
gotta
Raymond's a
understand.
great example of, it's like, I think Raymond's got a great strategy.
Absolutely.
Right,
I feel like
yes, he
working
does.
With a good team and everything
Mhm.
just helps refine that,
Yeah.
and it's about, kind of defining yourself
Yeah.
for an audience,
Mhm.
and then living up to that expectation.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's strategic, but it's also creative. So
But
Yeah.
and we got great products. We got cool products. We do.
But you have to know where
movies
to go
are
with
the
them
best fucking
instead of
thing to
just-
sell.
Yeah.
They are
They're
very
fucking
cool.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
matter what type of film it is, it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's cool to somebody.
I hope
There's
people get
somewhere
that.
for your movie.
yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Like there's somewhere for it. And if you can make the mistake of trying to put it in a spot where it's not going to fit, and then you get rejected, and that happens. But you got to keep moving and keep trying.
Absolutely.
Because your story it's a good story. If it's a good story, it's a good story.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
and try not to take it personally either.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Like, it's not a rejection of you as a filmmaker
Yeah.
or a storyteller.
Hmm.
It's like I said, there's so many different reasons, and a lot of them, it's just a numbers game, because when you're getting 7,000 submissions like Sundance,
Yeah. It's
hard.
it's
You can only
Yeah.
go with so many.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's probably, of the 50 or 100 short, I think they do 75. I don't remember. I think at most they do 100 shorts,
Mhm.
at least in the fictional narrative. Because that was the thing I did for SIF. Like, I went to Sundance 8 years in a row. And then like the first year I was like, what am I doing? This is crazy. And then like by year 7, I was like almost like a guide for
Yeah.
other people. I'd be like, come with me. I will show you the restaurants that don't have the lines and the free lounges we can get into. But out of those 100, right, there's probably 300 other ones that were good enough
Amazing. Yeah.
to
It
play
didn't make.
at Sundance,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just couldn't and didn't for whatever
There
reason.
wasn't enough room.
Yeah.
So don't give
mostly.
up.
There wasn't, or the right
give up.
person didn't
Mhm.
see it, who had
Yeah.
a love for like horror comedies or whatever. It just, so again, it's really, it's almost like, one of those old Plinko boards on The Price is Right. And it just goes down. I'm a big believer in, random chance occurrences, like John Cage, that kind of stuff. It's like, so much is random. And I think, you just got to keep, again, it's like keep dropping that Plinko chip.
Yeah.
Get another chip.
The more you put yourself out there, the more chances you got.
And that's the truth.
That's a great analogy.
It is the truth. It is. And believe in yourself is the key. That's what you start with. You start with believing in yourself because you absolutely have to. And then you go from there. And then you just keep trying. And if people keep saying no and you believe in yourself, keep trying.
Yeah, there's no reason to stop.
No, there's no reason to stop.
You got nothing to lose.
People stop when their time is just around the corner. That's the sad thing.
That is the sad thing because they give up.
Great point.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
They do. They give up. Yep.
Brad, thank you for joining us. Buddy.
Yeah, and please join us again.
Yes.
We would love. We love your. We love your insight.
This was a lot of fun. I just found out about it last night, and I loved going on spur of the moment kind of stuff because
nice.
You're just kind of like, well, can't be that bad.
Well, you don't know us yet.
I didn't have time to prepare.
Yeah, you'll love our show. Trust me.
Yeah.
This was a lot of fun. So
cool.
thank you,
buddy.
Yeah,
for
thank you.
the invitation, and I'm glad. Really, really interesting conversation.
Do you mind if we get your information from Raymond and have you come back for a whole show of your own?
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome.
I think you got a lot to share.
Yeah, he does. He's
cool.
Wealth of knowledge.
Yes,
love it.
And I feel that.
Thank you, Brad.
We'd love to have you back, Brad. But thanks for joining us this time.
Yeah. Thanks. Hope you all have a great weekend. And
Do the same.
See you soon.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, buddy.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for joining us, Raymond. So, brother, what is your schedule like, and what are you doing right now that you're excited to release here soon? Anything?
I'm excited for Kimmy next month, February 10th. That's coming out.
And that's on HBO, right?
HBO Max.
Badass.
So exclusively on HBO Max.
Cool.
I have multiple indies that should be dropping sometime this year. Those will be coming out soon, so I'll be releasing those on my social media or wherever platform they'll be on.
Cool.
I'll be filming Armed Betties this month. So that'll be fun. I
forgot about that one.
Great role in that.
That looks fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's a good role, good story, good cast, good crew. So it's amazing.
Awesome.
Finish up with you guys. I also will be flying hopefully to Florida to film something. I got a ton more stuff with Mind Riot about to be moving, and just I'm keeping up producing and not just acting but doing the whole works. I got feelers out in every other state, so I'm trying to do more work in LA and Atlanta and New York, so I'm just keep on pushing.
Super proud of you, brother. You are a pinnacle. You're that level of where a lot of people need to look to. You are. You really are. And we like flipping you shit because it's fun.
It is fun.
Especially
I appreciate
me.
it.
I love
and
it.
because
it's fun. But we love you.
Fortunately, unfortunately, you become a friend. So
Yes. I'm good. I love it.
But from most of our friends, if we can make you uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah, that's how we communicate our
I
love
love
to
it.
people.
I love it. I love the show. I love you guys.
They must love the shit out of me.
Yeah, when you hear me say "fuck you," it means I love you. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But thank you, Raymond, for sharing stuff with us.
Yeah.
And everybody else out there. It's important for everybody to hear, and I know each one of us here are honored to know.
Yes.
We really are.
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
brother.
And you're
Appreciate
right. We are friends.
Yes.
We're all friends.
Good show. Great stuff. Charles,
Yes.
you want to close?
You close us out?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you for joining Sailing Around the Ring. No, Raymond, thank you for being here today, buddy. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thanks for bringing on your friend and mentor, Brad. That was great talking with him a little bit.
Absolutely.
We'll have him on the show to talk more about in-depth what he's doing. But we've done this before in the past. We've had you on the show. We talked about your story, your personal
And we've made you
story.
uncomfortable.
Well, yeah, that's what it is. But no, we talked about your personal story. But now, like Aaron said, like Sam talked about, it's great having you on the show because you are chasing your dream and you're sharing your story of chasing your dream and what it's like to go through it every day. And everybody can feel like they drop off on part of their dream, or they feel like they didn't do enough that day, that week, that month. But remember, as long as you continue chasing your dream, you will survive. The only time you fail is when you don't get back up and keep trying.
Right.
Yeah. Keep going.
And you give up. Yeah.
Just keep going. And remember to think hard, because you're thinking anyway.
See everybody later.
Bye.
Bye.
I was made for loving you, baby. You were made
Are you freaking kidding me? Not
Dude,
again.
change the station.
But it's Kiss.
Please.
It's
No, but we don't know.
It's not Kiss. It's Aaron.
Yeah.
Stop.
Who sings that again?
Tonight.
Kiss?
Yeah.
Let's leave it that way.
Oh, sorry. Wow.
Thanks.
Well, I thought this was a show about being creative. I was just being creative on the
That's
mic.
not being
Yeah,
creative.
that's
That's just
no being annoying.
Well, maybe I'm trying too hard. Maybe it's a lot simpler.
Aaron, remember, as all good broadcast people know, less is more.
So for radio, if I don't say anything, wouldn't that be kind of a buzzkill?
It would be a great
That
freaking
would-
show.
That would give the rest of us a chance to say something.
Oh my God.
Yeah, then we'd hear something other than you.
Well, I thought around the reel we were going to just have a good time and talk with people.
We do, but it's not about you, as we have talked about in the past. It's about our wonderful guests, and our wonderful guests can tune in and become a member of our show. How, Sam?
Well, if you want to be a guest on our show, you can go to our website, cccentertainmentgroup.com, and click on the link for guest scheduling for Around the Reel and come be our guest.
Yeah, and then I don't get to talk about myself
Be
anymore.
You talk
Oh,
about yourself anyway.
guest.
True.
Guest.
Oh, now Chuck's singing. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Because he was made for loving me, baby. Wait, that's not all.
That's you.
Yeah, that's weird.
No.
I sang that wrong.
Yeah,
Oops. Sorry.
he was made for loving you, Aaron.
Just remember to keep tuning
And I
in.
wasn't.
Because next week, who knows what's going to happen.
You never know.